how much investigation is required when a restaurant claims its food is halal. How much investigation is required when a restaurant claims that its food is halal? There are many answers related to this question on seekersguidance.org, and I have one that I wish to share with you because it is in relation to this as well. Of course, we'll deviate from the specifics where required. So, in the name of Allah, entirely merciful, especially merciful. Number one, what do the local scholars say about this? Remember, Seekers Guidance often addresses issues from around the world, and the context is always key. If somebody asks this question in a majority Muslim country compared to asking this question in a predominantly non-Muslim country, the context is very different. And this is the type of question that local scholars would be far better equipped to deal with the specifics of when it comes to a specific restaurant, or when it comes to the trends within restaurants, or when it comes to a certain franchise. Then we move on to the next issue. If the restaurant owners are practicing and God-fearing Muslims, right? If you know that these are Muslims and they're practicing and God-fearing, then in that case, one should assume that they are being truthful, that the meat that they are serving you is halal, and that the actions and arrangements in question are all legal and all permissible until you have reason to believe otherwise. In other words, until clear evidence is brought and you don't act on any sort of doubt or suspicion. Our default with our fellow Muslims can't be that you are trying to feed me haram. Our default with our fellow Muslims can't be that you are trying to trick me into Jahannam. Wal-iyadhu billah. Our default is that we are Muslims, we trust one another, we are looking out for our best interest, for the very least at the spiritual level. And inshallah, if that is true, then it should be at every level as well, right? There are so many ahadith in which the Prophet ﷺ teaches us this concept of how we should be, that the Muslim is a brother to another Muslim. He doesn't oppress him, he doesn't deliver him to his enemy, right? And Allah is there to help his brother for as long as he is there to help others. So, the evidence of this is that a group of people said to the Prophet ﷺ that some people brought us some meat, and we do not know whether or not they have mentioned Allah's name upon slaughtering it. In other words, whether they said Bismillah or not. So the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said to them, say Allah's name, in other words, say Bismillah and eat. And those people, he said those people had embraced Islam recently, or rather those people had embraced Islam recently. That's not part of the hadith. So what we learn from this is not that, look, just say Bismillah and eat regardless, but that when Muslims present you with food, you should take it as halal, and then you just make sure that you do your bit and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as you would with any other food. But this is not saying that your Bismillah makes meat that was previously, unslaughtered or not slaughtered with Bismillah halal. That's not what it's saying. So again, our default assumption with our fellow Muslims is that they are truthful and that the food that they serve us is in fact halal, and that is how we would act accordingly bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah.